Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian Titus and Justin Hamm.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Never know who's gonna walk through the door. There just might be some strategy in this. Just having fun with our special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian Titus and Justin Hamm.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Hamm, and I'm here with a pitch for all of you. I feel like I got a good pitch here. I feel like if
I'll hear you out.
I feel like and it may sound like it's comedy, maybe it is, but at the same time, okay. Julian, do you remember the show Doug?
Yes.
Cartoon show. Okay.
Yeah.
Doug Funny. That was the name of the character. Show wasn't actually that funny, in my opinion. Just it was more like a coming of age kind of show, right?
Yeah, it was probably the closest that we got in America to like a slice of life anime.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Like there was like, quirky characters and stuff like that, but not, not really like a funny show or anything like that. I was thinking about that show because at some point, and I don't remember when it was, like that Doug had its run on Nickelodeon that I remember. It might have been somewhere else too. Had its run on Nickelodeon, went, however many seasons it went, and then, kind of just went away. But then it came back at some point.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yes, it came back, and Doug had aged up. He was now, I think he just went up a grade or two or something like that. I don't exactly remember. I only watched it once. But it was like, oh yeah, he's in a new school and like Roger's wearing a vest now. It's really weird. And I was, for some reason I was thinking about that. I was like, you know what they should do? What a great idea is. And it's a slow burn and it's a real tough pitch to make because you'd have to get somebody to commit. All right. So what I would like to do is start a show where you really commit to the Doug aging up part, right? So you almost start you could start it'd have to be a cartoon probably, because if you started changing actors during this whole thing, it'd get really dicey. But you start at like age 5, right? And then every season is another age up. So like kids will start watching it, and then as it's going, the character is also aging up, and every year it starts with their birthday, right? So eventually, but it's just a lot of regular shit happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like the Truman Show, but it's scripted, right? So you're watching this kid grow up. You're growing up with the character, and a lot of it's just like mundane shit. Because I always wanted like a reboot of Doug, but he's like an insurance claims adjuster or some shit now, and like his marriage is falling apart and all this other shit. Like that would be great to me. Just an update on what Doug is doing as a middle-aged man. But we never get that. So, but eventually, like 30 seasons in, that's when we'll get the update on, our character who's, I don't know, just Chris or some shit. And you're there the entire journey. Like season 20, you're like, man, remember when Chris fucking took those skydiving lessons? That was a whole fucking thing. What a quirky fucking bit that was. I feel like it has potential. It just takes a lot of commitment to it. But like,
well, Justin,
yeah,
I hate to break it to you.
Did they do this already?
Yeah, you're talking about the Richard Linklater film Boyhood.
Okay, well, that's a
that
film.
he filmed, but he filmed it over 12 years.
That's a film.
Okay, fair enough.
I want a series, and it's an animated series. Like I said, so it will start out like, like kind of just quirky comedy, but eventually it grows up with the audience. That's the point of it.
I do really like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember the comic strip For Better or Worse.
Yeah.
Was one of the rare ones that did that, where the characters grew up over the course of them doing that comic strip.
It's one of those things they never really commit fully to a lot of the times in almost any medium. Like they try it with like the Rugrats at some point. Like the Rugrats were obviously they were babies. And then I think they were like maybe toddlers at some point, or maybe they were in elementary school, but they tried to like age them up and nobody really gave a shit. But it's always like a jump, right? Like, no, commit to the bit and just do the whole thing. That's what I think. I feel like it could work. But yeah, they should do that.
No, I agree. I'm a big fan of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that too, because like they just showed like the new intro for the next season of King of the Hill, where they've aged everybody up. Like basically the years that the show was off the air have happened in the show.
Yes, they did it. Rocko's Modern Life did something like that. They've done it a few times, but it's always like a jump. But I would like to see the in between stuff. And I feel like it would work. Like if you market it towards like the age of people that the show starts at, so that way every time they age up every season, every year is a new season. Like it's like,
honestly, the closest thing to that, and you're not going to like this, and the listeners aren't going to like this, but it's Harry Potter.
Yeah, no,
because every book is a new school year.
Absolutely, yeah. And Harry Potter, massive success. If we just take out the transgender hate out of that, I feel like we got.
Let's be fair, it wasn't in the original text.
True. That's true. That's true. It's just the writer just decided to ruin everything.
She just went off the deep end after a while. Like
absurd, yes.
Because they just announced like the main three kids that are going to be in the HBO TV series. Right. Back when I was reading the books and watching the movies, what I wanted was a TV series so that you could have everything that's in the books. But there is the same type of shit that you can imagine, because the little girl playing Hermione is not like 100% white.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
But it's also not the first time that's happened, because there was like a play based on the Harry Potter series, and that Hermione was black. And at the time, JK said she's supposed to be really smart and have frizzy hair. That's the only description of her. Yeah. Anybody can be Hermione. It's like, so what happened to that JK Rowling? Yeah. Like the one, you know what I mean? And maybe she was always this shitty person. Yeah, I don't, there's a little bit of, subtext in some of the books where you could kind of read it certain ways, but
I know I've seen,
but there's like a definite shift. I don't think that I'm like
shift. No, and it came after everything had come out already. Like she pretty much made her money and then was like, all right, now let me just fully commit to this while I have all your attention,
right, and money.
Yeah, I'm good, but while I'm good, how about I make you less good? Yeah.
The State Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Well, speaking of money, Justin.
Oh no.
I think it's a good time to thank our lovely patrons.
Oh, we're already up doing that? Okay.
Yeah. The whole thing about the Stage Select, you never know what you're going to get.
Okay.
And that includes us.
I did not expect this early. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, and this being the first episode of the month, it is time to thank everyone.
All right.
Starting with the executive producer tier, we have Addy XD.
We have Big Baker.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have Bookie.
We have Casey Curran.
We have David Portnov.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Eric Peacock of Soundtracker.
We have X-Rian.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Matt Jorgensen.
We have Philip P.K. Becker.
I don't know why you keep saying it like that. We have Raymond Crumb.
We have 60, who doesn't want to alarm anyone. Just keep an eye out for signs of someone following.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have Xavier Krager.
Okay. Is there? I feel like there's a bit that I'm missing, but I'm fine with it. That's fine. As the associate producers here, we have Andrew Wilson.
We have Daft Man.
All right. We have Jake Smith.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
Yep. We have Weston of Big Nerd Gaming.
Hardmo Bro himself.
That's him. He's doing it.
And at the Key Grip tier, we have Thurand.
And at the free tier, we have Aristocratical Chic. I'm going to go with Chic.
We have Joshua Moncrief.
We have Lazy Bokas. Like, Bokes? Lazy Pokes. Okay, like pokes. It has in parentheses here. Thank you for.
I was informed of that last month. So
I like for whatever reason I read it and think of bokeh or whatever, which is like that effect with depth of field. So
right,
yeah,
the thing that Digital Foundry's always on about.
Yeah, that's the one.
The bokeh depth of field is not as good as blah blah blah. It's like, what are you looking at?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, God, Skyrim modding, it'll make you notice a lot of things. Trust me.
I forgot you've become a little bit of one of those sickos.
Yeah, I know.
And last but not least, we have Restuff.
We do.
Thank you to everyone for supporting the show. Sometimes like to mix it up. It's one of those things that people probably skip, but we're early enough in the show that maybe they don't.
There you go.
Also, I get to roll into the fact that we have a winner for the next Suffer Select poll. It was kind of a landslide.
Yeah.
So next episode of the Suffer Select, we will be playing Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah.
I found a cheap used copy of the PS4 version in half-price books.
I think I bought it. Let me look here. I think I bought it at some point.
Apparently, it was on sale like super cheap on PS5 physical, but I know you don't do physical.
Maybe I didn't buy it. Oh boy, that sucks.
It's pricier than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I thought I bought it, but maybe I did not. Oh man, that sucks. Or I just lost it. You know what? I'll worry about that another day.
Yeah, maybe check all of your places just before you go and rebuy it somewhere.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to double dip on that.
I've double dipped on worse probably, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find out, I guess. Yeah,
we'll find out. Just like you can find out when you listen to me on Mike Fallek's new podcast, Soft Lock. Mike Fallek has a new show.
Yeah.
Mike is very interesting when it comes to like podcasts and just the way he does this whole thing, because he's got like a much, much, much larger audience than us.
Yeah.
But like the way that he conducts his shit like drives me bonkers, because like his older shows, like it would always drive me crazy. It's like no show notes, just like he would just throw the show up.
Yeah.
And so he did announce that he had this new podcast, and he put it in our Discord. But at the time, it was like on Spotify and Apple, but it hadn't populated to like everywhere yet.
Right. Sure.
So I was waiting to listen to it, and finally, like it hit Overcast, which is what I use.
Yeah.
And so I'd started to download it, but I was actually guesting on the show the day that like I found it and downloaded it. So I haven't listened to his show yet, but basically he's gearing up to premiere his documentary about lawns in the Edinburgh Fringe Fest.
Yeah.
Yes. And so this is kind of like just more of like an audio log of him kind of talking about getting ready for that, but also just talking about whatever, which is honestly what that dude should have been doing like this whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he has something that's not necessarily like super focused on a particular thing and just lets him riff on stuff with guests.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You can listen to that.
I believe it.
I'll have the link to the episode in the show notes.
I made it sound like I knew what Julian was talking about because I listened to it already. That's not true, but I'm also probably on the show. I don't know if it'll be the same episode. I have no idea. But
not the same episode, because mine came out already.
Okay, good.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that drives me crazy is that like once I downloaded it, it's like there's episodes coming out like every other day. Like, what the fuck is going on?
According to him, he's just basically recording them, not editing them, throwing them up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, man, do you? But I, on another hand, did it in person with Mike. I met him. He's a real person.
He is a real person.
He is a real person.
I know that's hard to believe for some of you listeners.
I know. That's what I really wanted to emphasize that. Yes, he is actually a real person. And yeah, no, he came over to a friend of mine's house and we recorded it right there. And I got to smoke on a podcast again. Do you know how fucking good that felt? It was great. Oh man, there's a lot about that.
It's been 84 years.
There's a lot about that on there. So go check it out. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys got to meet, because I met Mike back in 2019 when I went to go visit my friend Blissy in Boston.
Yeah.
And he was living in Boston at the time. So I was like, hey, you want to like maybe connect too? And that was actually a ton of fun. So
yeah. It was a lot of fun meeting Mike. We had a great talk, and we were instantly like, we should do this more often. And I was like, we should, Mike. Actually, that'd be fun.
How far is he from you, like hour wise?
He's about like an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. I'd have to ask him exactly. It depends on where he lives or where he lives.
Right.
But the entire thing is a lot of me talking about my hometown. So if you want to hear some of that stuff, go for it. My friend might make a brief appearance on there. I kept
60 and Addie are hearing you talk about this, and they're like, oh fuck yes,
yeah.
They're downloading it right now.
Oh, we had a blast. He and I
called out.
Yeah, we had an absolute blast. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully do it again soon sometime.
And now 60 is responding in the Discord as they hear this. I'm on to you.
Yeah, yeah. Go check it out.
Get real parasocial. Just get in
check
there.
It out. It was funny because I like I said, I had to set it up at my friend's house when I was like, okay, well, Mike, I got it for here, and I shot him where to go and all this stuff, and my friend the entire time was like, okay, so like, do I need to like clear anything out, or like, where do you need to do all this? Like, is there a lot of stuff that I was like, I have no fucking idea. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
What was the recording setup like? I'm actually curious about that.
It's just he uses his phone and has a mic. That's it.
Okay, single mic.
Yeah, just one mic. Two mics technically, because his name is Mike, but
beat me to it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes. But yeah, that was pretty much it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Did you get to eat
with Mike? No.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I really I really want to I really want to talk to him again about some Ohio pizza though, because that would be.
It's Marco's you guys are always talking about, right?
He was talking about,
or
Marco's.
He is. Okay.
Marco's,
I know he keeps saying. Yeah, and I know he keeps saying that it's like not outside of Ohio. There's one like not that far from.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a standalone.
Marco's. So I didn't get to go into my full Ohio pizza bit the day when we mentioned it, because we had to move along. But yeah, he mentioned he also mentioned Jets, and I've never heard of Jets, so I don't know anything about it. But John Gholson, I remember, pointed out that that's also a chain, and I was like, okay, no, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about here. There are and I'm like,
there's specific Ohio.
I need to bring him Ohio pizza, because I'm like, no, sir, these are chains you're talking about. No, this is what I'm talking about.
The Skibbity Pizza, Ohio.
Oh, it's not great.
With the Riz and extra helping of Gap.
I don't know where you're going with that, but okay.
It's just throwing out, Gen Alpha slang.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
So there's that.
There is that. Now what?
Good question. Now what?
Now what, indeed.
I guess why don't you lead it off? What have you been getting up to? We can bounce back and forth.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We can or whatever. I don't know. For full transparency, we just recorded an hour and a 40-something minute podcast. Yeah.
for Cinnamorons.
Yeah, so we're a little tired. So if this is a shorter episode, we apologize, I guess. But yeah, like it. But I mean, I'm fine.
I am too, and we've got plenty to talk about. But
yeah. Oh, let's see. What have I been up to? What do I want to talk about? I'm still playing Monster Train 2 on and off. That's fun.
I didn't realize that that's on Game Pass, so I might check that out.
Yeah, it's not bad. If you didn't play the first one, like it's pretty much more of that. The more I've gotten into it, I still feel pretty much the same. It's just more Monster Train, and that's fun. Like that's perfectly fine. That's really all I want from it. There's definitely stuff that I'm like, some of it feels very balanced, some of it feels like not as balanced. Like there was like one thing in some of like they have like when you beat a run, the difficulty gets higher for the next one, and you're supposed to keep going up to. They're called Covenant levels or whatever the hell. And certain ones I was like, I've unlocked one of these, the Hell Clans, and I was just like, yeah, these guys feel busted. Like it almost feels too easy. And then like I got to the next one, I was like, okay, now I see it. It's maybe a little harder than I thought it was, but I don't know. It feels like it probably will get some balance patches and all that stuff and here and there, but I don't know. It's Monster Train. I'm having a good time playing it. Mm-hmm. Monster Train 2, that is. There's more Monster Trains. I don't know.
There's something about the way that the word Monster Train like flows together, especially when you say it, where I think you're saying Lake Pontchartrain.
No, I'm not. I don't know why. That. That's fine. If that's what you feel in your heart. That's what
triggers in my head. I don't know why.
If that's what you feel in your heart, Julian, then who am I to say you're wrong? Yeah. Let's see. I've also I said I was going to do it.
Sorry. I actually do have a question about Monster Train.
Oh, sure. By all means.
Because it's card based, right? Like Slay the Spire?
Yes.
Are there like battle animations? Because that's like kind of a thing for me. Or is it just like the cards like, butting against each other?
It's not. No, it's not that. So the concept of Monster Train, and I think the reason why I vibe with it more than I do Slay the Spire is because you probably would be more Slay the Spire than this. Monster Train reminds me sort of Magic the Gathering to some degree, where you're trying to protect a thing and you're setting down like you have cards that are just monsters that you put in a room, and you have so much room to put these monsters in, right? And so they are guarding this floor, and then once then an exchange happens between the enemies and your monsters, and then they go up a floor, right? And if they get to the top and they're not dead, they hit your stuff, right? And if the stuff runs out of HP, then you lose. That's kind of the simple concept. You also have like spells that you do and stuff like that. They have like animations and stuff for the monsters and shit like that. I'm not sure whether they're battle animations. I'm not 100%. They do go and actually hit things. Now that I think about it, absolutely, yeah.
Because I liked Slay the Spire, but I wanted a little bit more like panache with the presentation of the fights, and I have seen like in the trailer for Slay the Spire 2, they're doing that.
Yeah. I would say the one thing that's always kind of never really been my thing with Monster Train is I don't really quite like the art style of it.
I remember you saying that with the first game.
Yeah, it's still the same here. Like 2 is the same art style. It's fine, it's completely fine, but there's something like almost like too cartoony about it that I don't really like. Like it looks,
if memory serves, it's kind of like that Blizzard style. Right?
A little bit, but like almost like Saturday morning, like kind of generic Saturday morning cartoon style to me. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's just a little bland. I don't know.
Right.
I've always kind of felt that way about it. And it's the same art style here, which is, I mean, that's their look, I guess. So why change something that they've been successful with? I totally get that. But anyway, Monster Train 2 is still pretty good. But I said last week I was going to do this, and I did do it. I have finally played myself, not just watched somebody else do it, the Silent Hill 2 remake. With a friend of mine who really is adamant about seeing it, because I hang out with a fucking horror fan now. So here we go.
That's like the most poetic fate for you.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, yeah. I'm just hanging out with horror fans now that are just like, yeah, no, you should play this. It'll be great. And I'm like, yeah, it'll be great, won't it?
It's got to be easier with someone else in the room, though, right?
Yeah, no, it's that, and I've watched Silent Hill 2 enough times to where I kind of know a lot of its tricks, and also it being in third person makes it like a lot easier.
Yeah.
I did have to tell them, like, listen, now that we're sitting here playing these games, I really enjoy playing video games, and I'm glad you enjoy watching me do that. If it is a first person horror game, fucking no, I will not. Just let's get that out of the way right now, because can't do it. But Silent Hill 2,
Justin, I know I've said this a lot in our Discord, and like it's not going to make sense to you, but like I know I've mentioned that there's a duo in HoloLive that is basically us. As far as like commitment to the bit and like their love for role play and doing dumb stuff and everything.
Sure.
But the more that goes on, like the more we really are them, because Gigi, who is notoriously like terrified of horror games, also came out as Ace this week.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Sounds about right. That sounds about right. That makes sense to me. But no, I played the Silent Hill 2 remake. I played it. I haven't gotten too far into it, because we're also doing other stuff while we're there. We're all over the place. But I was like, listen, if I play more than here, I had like a spot in mind, which I got to the apartments. I got to the apartments. And I was like, that's where I'm going to stop for today, and then we'll go from there. Like I kind of have in mind where I want to get to every day, and then I'm stopping, because even though it's like not that bad, and like I know what's in the game and what's happening, and the type of shit that it's doing. My anxiety still does skyrocket during it, where I'm just like, oh fuck, man, I don't know. I gotta beat this thing up with a board.
Yeah. So you broke into the old apartment?
Which one?
Is that where you used to live?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I thought, man, okay. I thought that would trigger.
No.
The old apartment, Barenaked Ladies.
Oh, I forgot that Barenaked Ladies song.
That's fair.
Yeah,
let's just move on from this.
Okay, let's move on from that, Julian, because I apologize. Yeah, like yeah, it's. Oh, hold on, Happy Scouser Day.
Listeners are so confused right now.
That's how fucking late it is right now, and we're only a half hour into this podcast. If we seem a little groggy, it was always bound to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Silent Hill 2. I'm playing it. I'm having a real good. So I obviously I've watched it enough times to where I know the story, and I love. I'm kind of like, okay, remember this. This is important. This is we're about to enter this part. This is pretty cool, stuff like that, and trying to do my best to showcase it a little bit.
You're playing it on a PS5, right?
Yes.
Is it PS5 exclusive? Is it not on PC?
No, it is on PC, but I don't have my PC over there.
Right.
Anything.
Okay.
So.
Are you noticing any cool trickery with the controller that they're doing, or are you just not even noticing because you don't notice that in general?
So far, I haven't noticed any trickery stuff with the controller. I think I'll pay attention to that next time for you.
Okay, I'm curious because I haven't cracked mine open yet, and I don't know when I could conceivably do that.
I want to say, and I'm probably wrong, but in my brain, I feel like the radio static comes out of the controller speaker, maybe.
Sure. I was thinking more of like the haptic-y stuff.
Yeah. There's definitely some of that stuff for sure, but like, yeah, I don't pay that much attention to it.
Sure.
But for just like gameplay alone, I've watched the combat plenty of times. It's actually like better to play than what I thought it would be, if that makes sense. Like just watching it, I was like, yeah, no, there's something like weighty to this, and like it's a little bit more snappy than I thought it was. And I don't have a gun yet, so I'll have to get back to you on that. That part might be awful. I don't know yet. But like just, you know, beating motherfuckers with a 2x4 has been like, oh yeah, no, there's something satisfying to it, and like just I could tell it was doing something right when like. Once you kill the monster, he'll start stomping them, and it's not Dead Space stomp, but it's a good stomp.
Yeah.
And
they were right to, you know, even though Dead Space was obviously inspired by Silent Hill 2,
sure,
the Silent Hill 2 remake people were right to crib that from Dead Space.
Oh yeah, it's a good stomp. It's real fun, and it's also like it adds something to that game too, because like. He only really does that when they're dead. So it's like a great indicator. Like when you're hitting something that you've knocked onto the ground, you're like, no, it's dead now. You are stomping. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Like that telltale blood spread from the old Resident Evil games on PS1.
Yes. Exactly like that. You kind of know that you've killed the thing that you were trying to kill. I know they also got it right because like when I did that in front of my friend Kim, she was like, "Oh wow, okay." I was like, "Yeah, no, it's we're going here." And so yeah, it's been real. It's not been that bad. It's been pretty neat, and I'm proud of myself for getting as far as I have so far and sticking with it. Now I got to go through the apartments, which I'm a little creeped out by, but we're gonna do it.
So I don't know how much you want to go into your friend, but I'm curious, like, what her gaming interest level is. Like, does she like to play, or she only likes to watch other people?
She'll play some stuff. I think her interest in it is she has played all the way through Until Dawn, and loved it.
Yeah,
loved Until Dawn. She's played a lot of like the stuff like that because and this was actually, you know, way back when I was actually one that was like, hey, if you like horror type stuff, you should try Until Dawn because you know that it's pretty good, and they liked that one. So they messed around with some of the dark pictures stuff, and they have the Quarry, but they haven't messed with it and stuff like that. They will tell you themselves they're not good at video games because, like, you know, they kind of do.
They don't regularly do it.
Yeah, they don't regularly do it. It's a whole thing. So they told me, like, I'm really glad. I just really like watching you play these. It's really cool, and I'm like, okay, that I like playing them, so that's great. I think I suggested Silent Hill 2 to them, and I was like, I don't think you could play it because it's kind of more action stuff. If it has like aiming and stuff, they can't do it, right?
Sure.
But like yet.
My last girlfriend, like, she went from having not held a controller with two joysticks before to playing all through like the new Tomb Raider games, and also playing a little bit of Halo multiplayer.
Yeah. I think my new idea for maybe trying to get them to play something is maybe trying out Baldur's Gate 3 with the co-op thing.
Right.
Because then I'm there with them, and they actually
let them make the decisions.
Let them make the decisions. I can do a bulk of the combat and stuff like that. But they, in their heyday, like, you know, back X amount of years ago, played Dungeons and Dragons, so they're not completely unfamiliar with that stuff too. So I'm like, that might be where we try to really get you on a controller.
Sure.
But we'll see what happens. But anyway, they were really into everything that was happening in Silent Hill 2, the remake. So yeah. Wow, that was weird. You went dark there for a second.
Oh, hold on.
Everything stop?
Well,
I
mean,
like it's
it doesn't matter because we're going, but
okay.
It looks.
Are you good?
Well, I mean, we're good. Like we've got our thing going, but I noticed that like I'm not seeing the waveforms on.
Oh no.
The Zencaster, but it still says green checks, so I don't know.
Okay.
Perhaps the Phantom just attempted something. I'm not sure, but he was not successful.
It was a whole thing, Julian. It's hard to say.
Drat. Foiled again. The Phantom will appear again, though.
Hey, get out of here. Get out of here. Gonna find you, Phantom. It was the last thing the Richard Harden, private detective, ever does.
Yeah.
But yeah,
let's just say that if that had happened last week, I would have been freaking the fuck out.
It's because we talked about Silent Hill 2, you know, it's a whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's I'm liking it. Even just playing it. Like I figured it was good because like, you know, people that, you know, love that genre were like, yeah, no, this is really good. And playing it myself, I'm like, yeah, no, this is there's something to this. This is pretty all right. And they're really liking it too. They're really into what's happening. Like I'm telling them to pace themselves because my heart can only take so much. That's the whole thing. But yeah, that's Silent Hill 2 remake. I'll keep inching my way through that son of a bitch, and we'll go from there.
Well, you know, speaking of, you were talking about Baldur's Gate, and I was thinking about like, and you had mentioned also that like you wanted to like kind of introduce them to like turn-based stuff.
Yeah,
I did finish a turn-based game. In the form of Expedition 33.
One I would probably not suggest they play.
No,
right?
No.
Yeah.
And that game, I feel very similarly to Expedition 33 now that I'm done with it, as I did with Metaphor Refantasio last year, which is great game.
Yeah,
that I'm definitely not nearly as high on as most people out there.
Yeah.
That I also feel by the end of the year doesn't make it to my top 10, and a couple years from now I don't think about anymore.
That's very possible. Yeah.
Because I do feel that that's going to be Metaphor's thing for me, because it didn't make my top 10.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it made my honorable mentions, but I know that like I don't like I don't think about that game except when I hear people bringing it up, and I'm like, oh right,
yeah,
Metaphor,
right.
I've got a lot of problems with that game's story. Expedition 33's story.
Yes.
Especially the way that it wraps up.
Okay.
But like, I can't go into that without like heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
I will say that my feeling on the combat by the end of the game is that I did ultimately come around and kind of grok the timing of like parries and stuff on the easier mode.
Sure.
I think that I could probably like, because I'm eventually going to buy this physically on PS5 just to have it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to try it again then on normal mode and see how I fare now that I kind of understand the game a little bit more. I maintain though that I think there's a weird inversion of like the way the combat should go. I feel that it's very heavily front loaded with enemies that attack very oddly and don't feel right as far as like the timing and stuff like that, and it really threw me off, and that's what was really making me feel bad. And this is a game where, because I know people like a lot of people were saying like, oh man, it feels so good when you get a parry.
Yeah,
but my thing is that I feel bad when I don't get a parry or a dodge, and that was the majority of the opening hours of that game for me.
I could see that for sure.
Towards the end, like especially with like some side content and stuff like that, there were enemies where, okay, these attack animations are perfectly lining up to where I feel that I should hit the parry button.
Sure.
And I was actually like parrying attacks the first time that I saw them because they looked like everything made sense. Like it wasn't this weird, oh, it's actually over here or whatever like that. I'm really torn on that whole thing because it is a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
And I always go back, and I know I've talked about him, maybe not on this show, but I know we've talked about him, but I always think about Vanel, who was a regular customer of ours at Game Fellas.
Sure.
Who was an older man, and we're talking probably in his mid to late 60s, who would buy damn near every RPG that came out. Because he loved RPGs. And it was so interesting because we're talking, 2001, 2002.
Right.
And this guy's in his 60s. And you didn't really see that a lot back then with...
No, that was very much... It was a kid's thing, back then.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
That was the whole bit.
And he would, like I said, almost every RPG that would come out, and he would return the ones that were too actiony because he just couldn't do them.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Because not only was he older, but obviously he hadn't grown up playing video games.
No,
because that wasn't possible. And I think about that, and I also think about me getting older, right? Like wanting to revisit games and thinking really hard about, like, there's going to be like certain games that I'm going to get to a certain point where I can't play them anymore. Just straight up.
I mean, even without all of that, like, I haven't played Expedition 33 in, a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my main reason is because it's a game that I feel like I have to be on to play, right? Like, I have to be on my shit and really hone in on it, instead of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit back and do my thing, and maybe I have to have like a deep think about something, but that's fine. Like, no big deal. Like, that's fun. That's the game. Instead of like, no, I got to be on the edge of my seat here and fucking timing this shit right, or else I'm gonna and redoing all these battles and all this shit, and like it sort of stresses me out. And when I start to feel that way, I don't get into it. Now I compare
it's almost like playing Silent Hill 2.
Yeah,
in a way.
Really, yeah. And like, it is kind of a game that, like, I feel like if somebody else was there, I could maybe do it a little bit better. I'd be like, yeah, okay, like, just, I maybe I can, but, and I can by myself. It's not like it's scaring me, but it like stresses me out. Like,
no, I totally get that.
Yeah. I compared it to Sifu when I first played it, and I still feel that way. Like that's how I feel when I get through a battle successfully. But Sifu, there was something to it where, like, I didn't really care if I lost or died or whatever, because it was maybe a little bit like, I don't know how to put it, like less serious or something like that. There was something to it. Like it felt like I was, going through an old like arcade beat 'em up, but like it was, there was a lot more to it and shit like that. Or even like even just like feeling like I was recreating like fucking wild ass kung fu scenes, and like I was like, yo, I got my ass kicked, but that was cool, and now I know when I get to that part I have to do this stuff. Okay, cool. But like going through the rest of the level was super fun in Sifu, whereas like, I don't know, like I said, it just stresses me out. I don't know what it is with Expedition 33. I think it's, and Sifu's also a shorter game, I think, is what also plays into it, where I'm just like, yeah, I got, X amount of levels, and that, like, and then I'm done, right?
There's another aspect to it, which is, and I think this is the other thing, is that, because I've played, people are acting like Expedition 33 is like an innovator in this. It's like RPGs have done this for years.
Yeah.
But usually it's been, like the enemy does an attack, right? And you hit the button to like mitigate some damage, right? And it's not like a crucial thing, but it does help over time.
Probably the best example of this sort of thing was like Mario RPG in my
right. That's a classic.
There's other ones for sure.
More recent, the turn-based Like a Dragon RPGs.
Oh yeah,
do
absolutely,
that, right? for me, the thing is that a lot of these enemies have like just ridiculous attack strings.
It's that, and like,
And
it's
you're going to do that turn after turn.
Yes. that and the amount of damage they can do sometimes, especially, I don't know how it gets later on, but like, especially in the early game, like there's times where it's just like, oh, and I'm dead. I goofed that up. Whereas like Mario RPG, like I said, that stuff's there. You can time it, and it's mostly just like, hey, great, you got bonus stuff out of this. You did more damage than usual, or you took less damage than usual. But like, it's not a game changer if you didn't hit it, right?
Right.
Whereas this one, it's
like,
not
a game ender if you didn't do
exactly.
it. Where here it very much is.
Very much is, yeah. And that adds to that stress level. It really does.
Now, on the flip side, I will say there was an optional boss that I did where it took out 2 of my 3 party members almost instantly.
Oh boy.
And I was thinking about I was like, okay, fuck this. And, but I couldn't run from the fight. And I was like, but I expect one of the characters to be a tanky ass tank.
Okay.
Like super high defense, super high hit points. And sure. They could eat like this boss's like entire combo and shake it off basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can like learn the fight. Right. And this is the one I was talking about, I think 2 weeks ago or something, where I was like, the thing, like one of its attacks is like a 9-hit combo or something like that.
Why wouldn't it be? Yeah.
Yeah. But through the course of the fight, I fucking learned that shit.
Yes.
And it did feel kind of awesome.
Very Sifu in that aspect, yes.
Start to like, and I learned like every one of its different attacks. And so I got to the point where I was parrying every single thing.
Yeah.
And this character also gets stronger the less damage that you take.
Yeah.
So basically, even though they weren't spec'd out to do big damage, I would basically every other turn had earned enough stuff to cash in a really big attack.
Right.
And so I whittled this boss down. It took me like about like almost 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, it felt really cool to do that. But then at the same time, it was kind of exhausting because it was like, even once I had that move down or all of the boss's attacks down, it was still like, oh fuck, here comes the 9-hitter again. All right, parry, and it's just like, got to do it like every second or third turn.
Yeah.
In addition to the other turns, right? That it's doing other things, and it's like, it's just a lot. I don't know.
No, I agree. And
I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, and I would like to see them expand on it in a future game, whether a sequel or a completely different RPG.
Sure.
There's certain things that I would like to see retweaked and stuff like that. I would really like it to have like full on equipment. You have the Pictos that, and this is a thing that took me longer than I would like to admit to understand. Because my whole thing was, okay, I get a new Pictos, let me equip it until I learn the Pictos, and then unequip it. But they come with boosts, like stat boosts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes, even though it's going to like kind of, make you have to spend more on Lumina points than you want to build your character out, it's still to your benefit to equip certain Pictos to like I turned one of the characters into like a crit build where it's like, okay, I've got 100% crit on this character now because I've got this one move that doesn't consume their resources if it crits.
Yeah.
So it's like I get to build the resource, but I get to keep it for free until I want to cash it out for my mega move.
Right.
So that was cool, but I would like to have equipment in the mix also to have more flexibility to play around with that stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Because I never really broke that game the way I keep hearing a lot of other people. Like, I was listening to Pat and Wooly today talking about like, oh yeah, I had I was doing like 1 million like damage on this one character, and it's like my highest damage was like 15,000 or something like that. Because at a certain point you are able to break the damage limit.
Yeah, I figured.
But like, nowhere close to what these guys are talking about. It's like, I couldn't even begin to figure that shit out by looking at all of the stuff that I have.
Yeah.
So brain just don't work like that.
Yeah.
So that's Expedition.
time for Big Dumb Quiz.
Oh man, at this hour, fuck me.
Fuck you, it's Big Dumb Quiz.
Yeah, no, fuck me, and that's what I said. Yeah.
Tonight, we have Julian, a cringe content creator from Wheeling, West Virginia. What? No, but Spence, you're not even booked. Fuck you, it's Big Dumb Quiz.
Okay.
Julian, your question. Which personality that is a regular on the stage select is a force of nature that you should never fuck with?
Mike Fallek?
Judges?
Who is the judge?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Oh, wow.
The answer is Spence Sterling. You never fuck with Spence Sterling.
Did somebody
This
mess
has been
with
Big
you?
Dumb Quiz.
Spence, did
I'm
somebody
Spence Sterling. Good night.
did somebody mess with him?
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on anymore
Okay.
on this show, Justin.
All right, well, apparently nobody does. I was gonna say normally you just vanish into the shadow realm when he shows up, so you know.
No, I'm there. I just
Oh.
he's never had me participate in the show before.
Oh, okay.
Like
well,
he's got a real mad on for you, and I was just kind of letting it happen.
Apparently, I just imagined the shadow realm when he shows up, and here we are.
Well, I can understand why.
Yeah,
Like because you kind of get that 1,000-yard stare whenever
yeah.
Spence shows up, so I can totally see that for you. It makes sense.
It does make sense. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it make sense? That sounds right to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. Man, I might have to try to renegotiate Spence's contract. This is getting a little out of hand.
Well, apparently, don't fuck with him.
Well, I am kind of scared about fucking with him now. That sounded like
That's what I
a
mean.
threat.
Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
Justin, what else have you been up to?
Oh, not all that much.
Did it feel good to like watch me like to not have to be on the other side of it at least?
It was good. It was nice. It was nice. But I still as much as I dislike him to some degree, and he knows that. He knows. He thrives on it, really. At least I think he does. I still like to just ask him things because that's what I do. He's there. He's a force of
Never
nature.
seems interested in answering. Except
No,
for,
that's why I'm so fascinated by asking him.
Yeah.
Because he won't answer anything. He's just fuck me, Big Dumb Quiz. Right. Okay. Anyway, what else have I been up to? I watched a film.
A film.
I watched a film based on a video game.
Yes.
Yes.
I am curious about this.
Yes, I watched a film based on a video game called Until Dawn. That's right. I watched a fucking horror movie because I'm hanging out with horror fans now.
Did you see this in the theater also?
No, this we
Okay.
watched at their house. Yeah.
I didn't think it was still in the theater.
Yeah.
I was going to go see it, and then I forgot about it.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't know how they had it, but they had it and we watched it. Yeah, they rented it on something.
Yeah.
And so overall, it is. I don't know what I was expecting from it. Right, like I'm going in. I'm like, okay, I had seen Zero. Like I knew it existed. I knew the Until Dawn movie existed.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I didn't really see any preview or anything like that for it. So I went in really blind. My initial thought was like, okay, how are they going to do this? Because if this is like a retelling of the game, then anybody who played the game knows what's going to happen and where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
But so what are they doing? Like, it's just the game with like, actually like, not as popular of actors and all that stuff and everything. It's kind of weird, right?
So I don't know how much you're going to get into this, but
Mm.
the trailer that I saw made me think that the movie is actually fulfilling the promise that the game didn't quite give me, because
Okay.
when the game starts off and you're basically being like psychoanalyzed by I forget what they called him. I think he is like a psychologist.
Played by he's kind of like played by
The Peter
Peter
Stormare
Stormare, who
character.
is in this movie.
Cool.
Yes.
Reprising the role?
No.
Okay. That's
Maybe.
fair.
I don't know.
Because he asked you a lot of questions about things that get under your skin.
Yes.
And I thought that the game was going to tailor its experience around those answers. And so,
Yes.
like, you know, if you were more scared by supernatural stuff, the game was going to be more supernatural.
Right.
Or if you were more into, like, more triggered by slasher stuff, like, it was going to be a slasher flick.
Right.
And it's not that. It kind of makes you think it's all those genres in one, and then it's something else completely.
Yeah.
But this movie seemed like it is kind of giving you all of those different things.
Yes. Kind of. Yes. Pretty much. The basic concept is like and I think it's kind of a little similar setup to like the original game, where like, okay, there's a group of friends. One of them's sister has gone missing. They don't know if she's alive or dead, but but they're looking for her. They think they just assume she's dead. So, you know, they go and they're, you know, trying to find her. They ask this guy at a gas station, and the guy at the gas station is like, "Hey, like, look, I think I've seen this person, but I don't know. Like, it was a long time ago. I don't know. A lot of people go missing at this one specific place. It's a whole thing around here." And it's like, okay, well, we're going to go to that one specific place, right? So they go to that one specific place, and it's just like kind of like a hotel. And then that's when basically everything pops off. The concept is kind of interesting and kind of a neat way to do like a video game movie, because I was like, the concept of like Until Dawn is like, okay, you have to make these decisions, and these decisions are going to affect these characters' lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of that a little bit, but like in Until Dawn, you can get everybody killed, right? Like that's kind of the thing. So the way they've kind of recreated something like that is like, okay, we get to this location. There's stuff happens, and then something resets, and then everybody comes back to life, and we do it again, and then it resets again, and so it's them trying to figure out what's going on and how to break the cycle, so to speak.
I love the idea of this movie based on a video game also looping in the most recent hot trend in video games, which is the time loop.
Yeah. It's not really a time loop per se. It's just kind of because they remember everything.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, they remember it, and like the point is like it's like they remember everything that happened. They remember themselves dying, and it's basically slowly fucking with them. And it's kind of a neat idea. I was like, this is actually kind of okay. Like, and yeah, you have your bits of like, you know, okay, this is our slasher bit. This is our supernatural take. This is our other thing. That one of my favorite, like, because you know, it's they remember all this stuff. One of my favorite bits is like, at some point they just go, okay, fuck it, we'll just lock ourselves in the bathroom, and that was a good bit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's like, okay, well, how are they how is this gonna go down? It was pretty fun. But yeah, overall, like a lot better than I thought it would be. Me watching horror movies is something, because I do not like jump scares. There are a decent amount in here, but like nothing too crazy. If I can watch it, it's probably fine.
Isn't it a PG-13 horror movie also?
I don't think so. If it is, that's amazing.
If there were F-bombs, then it's not.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not, because 2025 film. Let's look here. How do I find the rating? Oh, it's R. Yeah, it's a hard R. I was pretty sure because I was like, no, there's a good amount of gore in it. So, like, yeah, I don't know. A lot better than what I thought it was. And some fun stuff that is actually from the game. Like, I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat way to work that in. And I actually. They threw me so far off the trail that I was like, oh, I didn't expect us to get here, or even okay, cool,
right.
That's cool. But yeah, overall, not near as bad as I thought it was. Was it like an amazing movie? No, like it's not, but it's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. I would even posit that the game was not an amazing game. It was like a really cool.
It's a really cool take on like it's a fun like horror like experience type thing. Like it's a game, sure, but like it's just like it's taking itself seriously, but also like it kind of knows that it's like, a kind of schlocky horror thing, right? Like it knows what it is.
Yeah.
And this kind of knows that too, and I have to give it a lot of props for that. So yeah.
I finished Lost Records Bloom and Rage also this week.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it felt good to finish like a couple games.
You finished a few things, yeah.
Yeah. I like that game.
Mm.
So I will say that I don't think that there was enough payoff to the supernatural side of this one.
Gotcha.
I wanted a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's decent. And if people listen to Xlander, I know that like they were really impatient about the game because like all of these games are very much like I always say, it's like they're Stop and Smell the Roses games, right? They're about the build and they're about the characters and they're about taking your time with stuff. But they were very impatient about this package that has been sent to one of the characters in the present day.
Yeah,
and it does take a long time for you to open that package, but that's kind of like. That it's intended to be that, right?
Yeah.
The payoff for the opening the package is great, but I think like I wanted just a little bit more supernatural stuff. But man, I gotta say, and I had mentioned this when I first started talking about the game about it being very laser targeted at like my age group.
Sure.
Because all the girls were like a year older than me. It got me feeling some sort of way about the present day stuff is all in first person. Like you're playing as Swan, and she sees like the other characters aged up, like when she's talking to them.
Yeah.
But at the very end, like this isn't this isn't much of a spoiler. Like she turns a camera on herself, and so you get to see present day Swan juxtaposed with teenage Swan, and that got me feeling some sort of way, man. I don't really know how to explain it, but it fucked me up in a way that I wasn't prepared for, and not just because of like the moments of the game. It was just that very much seeing like, here we are as kids, right? And here we are now type of thing, like almost 30 years later. I don't know, man. It's really hard to describe my feeling on that. Yeah. But it was intense. Okay. So I'm really glad that I played it. Yeah. If I was comparing it to Don't Nod's Life is Strange games, I probably like it better than their Life is Strange games, which is the first game and the second game. Sure. I don't think that it holds up to Deck Nine's Life is Strange games. Okay. Like I still like those quite a bit better. I will carry the torch for True Colors and Before the Storm, all the live long day. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it was really cool. I'm glad that I played it. It was interesting because 60 had DM'd me on Discord asking if I had noticed this certain thing. And they showed me some pictures of what they were talking about. And And I was like, oh no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
But then I noticed some stuff in the final like couple chapters of tape 2, but then I was like, I can't tell if that's supposed to be like a capital T thing, or if that's just a graphical glitch.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it definitely had its fair share of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You'll have that.
And it was cool too, because these, games like this, like, the Life is Strange games, Walking Dead, all of these type of real choice-based games will give you like the breakdown at the end of like what you did versus what other people did.
Yes.
And there's like a lot of variation on the game. I was actually surprised where it was like, oh, like I thought this was going to this obvious conclusion, but there's like 12 different permutations of how this event can play out. That's wild.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Really pleased with that one.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Oi, excuse me.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going, man?
What can I do for you?
But yeah, pardon me. I'm an adventurer and I'm just passing through.
Okay.
I'm looking for a god of all creation. I'm supposed to come in here and slay it.
Why? Can I ask why?
Some real disaffected dude with a mask told me in a real like raspy British accent that I should go do it. I'm not really sure.
Let's see. Okay. So you don't know why, you're just gonna do the thing people ask you to do? Just don't question anything?
It's the code of the adventurer.
Oh, you know what? That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair. I was just gonna say that's, you know what? Force stall. Yeah.
Yeah. Just down the hall, to your right.
Yeah.
Then hang a left. And it's going to be in the bathroom. And it's you'll see a mist door and in the fourth stall. I see that you have a lot of potions there in your pack.
Oh yeah, those are health potions. I don't use them.
Health potion. Oh yeah. That's for the weak. I agree.
Exactly. See, this guy.
Yeah.
He's got the right of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know a guy who's going to be very upset about that. But no, yeah, just head on that way, and good. Best of luck.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That guy's
Morgan
fucked.
did say that he wasn't going to be able to get all of them. So.
Yeah, that guy's fucked. That's fun.
I know. Yeah, Bing Bing doesn't fuck around sometimes, man.
I just like to build people up so that they fail harder sometimes.
That's very Mean Girls of you.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's gonna die after this. It's fine.
It's true.
Yeah, he probably won't come back in our timeline. I don't know how the mythos of that works, but
I don't know. I should feel bad, but like he knew what he was signing up for, right?
Yeah,
exactly. It's not really my position to try to talk him down.
Code of the Adventurer. What even is that? That's fun.
I don't know. I just you just gotta humor those type of people,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Build them up so they fail harder. That's exactly it.
He'd probably be fine if he used those health potions, but
that's what I mean.
What do I know?
That's why I was like, no. That's for people who aren't very good at anything. You don't need those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Weston would be pleased with that bit of advice that you gave him.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Anything else, Justin, that you've been getting up to?
I have started the 100 line Last Defense Academy.
Yes,
I have started it. It's funny. I can't remember what it was. I've been meaning to start it for a while now, but every time I get to the point where I'm like, all right, let's play a video game, it's like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I was like, okay, I can't start that game then because it's a Danganronpa. I know how
there's
these
some
work.
build up.
There's like a 1 to 2 hour build before I'm gonna do anything in the game. So let's wait till I have a little bit of time.
To be fair, this one jumps you into stuff quite a little bit faster as far as like explaining. Like you get into your first fight like pretty quickly.
Yeah. But it's kind of like just the tutorial thing.
Yeah.
But then like and so far I haven't done much more than like the first like outside, I guess, of the tutorial battle, like where I had like an actual like party and did stuff.
Oh, okay. So you made a decent chunk. Yeah. That's a good. I mean, it's not that many days, but it's like I was afraid that you might have just done like the tutorial and not gotten much past that.
Yeah, well, I don't even think I've really gotten any days in. I'm at the first day, I think, unfortunately.
Oh, my memory was that the first like battle takes place like a few days into that, but
no,
okay.
like they wake up and then they get like immediately attacked after they get to know each other or whatever.
Oh, that you right? Yes. Okay.
It is still kind of the tutorial, but not really. Like there's, I don't know. It seems, So I'll have to keep going. Unfortunately, I just haven't had the time to. So far, like, it is a Danganronpa ass cast. Let me tell you, like, just immediately, I was just like. It's like they can't help themselves sometimes, and that
they can't, and I love it.
Yeah,
Darumi is best girl.
Darumi is fun. She's fun. She's pretty fun. I liked her. I do like her. The twins are funny because I like them so far. There's I don't know their whole deal, but yeah, like there's something. The really intense guy. There's all. Like I'm sitting here going down and I'm just comparing them to Danganronpa characters. I was like, and here's this one, and here's this one. I was like, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you gender swapped this one. I see what you did here. I'm like, oh yeah, you that's just Kyoko, but not a girl. Got it. Understood. And that shit's cracking me up, but. So far it's interesting. So I guess my big question is like, okay, you're a lot farther than me, I'm gonna guess, right?
I'm on day 77.
Okay, that's pretty far in, I would say.
Yeah.
The combat like gets better, right? Like it's not.
Yeah. So
okay.
I was kind of waiting for you to talk about it because I think I've seen people talking about the game online, but I haven't seen people really like applauding the tactics, and I think it's actually got like some really awesome shit in the way that the combat goes.
Yeah.
They really want you to be aggressive and play fast and loose with the fact that your characters come back to life. Because you get it to a certain point where battles are waves.
Sure.
And they're like, sometimes like 3 or 4 waves of enemies, right?
I was kind of getting that vibe, yeah. So yeah.
Your guys come back between waves.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So it's like, and I think even in the first battle, you can tell that like the enemies will swarm you like motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, they will.
And they are aggressive on attacking, but it's because when a character gets down to like critical, they can do like their final attack for free and it kills them, but it also charges up your special attack bar, and then also they're going to come back next wave. So like you start to build strategies around sacrificing characters because like, okay, I can not only take out a bunch of dudes with this character when they die, but then I'm going to have enough meter to do another special attack with this character and take out another big swath. And then the first character is going to be back next time. So that's fine. Okay. Because we're almost done with this wave. And then you start to get like items that are like very like strategic that you can use.
Okay.
Dude, this game solves a problem that I have with the Fire Emblem series.
Okay. Interesting.
You know how every Fire Emblem game has the dedicated healer character that they're only good at healing and they've got like very little hit points and they die almost instantly.
Yeah.
And if you're playing classic style, then they're just gone.
Yep.
Right? So you get a healer in this game, and it takes a while. Like that, again, that was kind of my weird thing about the game is like there's not really like a lot of like option to heal. Right. But again, it's because you're really kind of wanting to. They want you to sacrifice these troops.
Yeah, for sure.
But you get a healer who is like super mobile.
Okay.
Like they can move across that battlefield.
That's cool.
And
all right.
their weapon is a gun, and it's got really good range, and it's powerful.
Okay.
They're very squishy, like a healer usually is.
Sure.
But their healing move also eliminates fatigue. And fatigue happens. So, like, I think you've probably already experienced it where, like, you can move an attack and then that character is fatigued, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can attack again, but they can't move.
Yes.
But this healer and also this healing move is like it's like a 3x3 area around them.
Sure.
So it's a pretty big spread, and you can kind of have them dart around the battlefield and unfatigue people.
It is very interesting how wide they go in for a tile based thing so far. Like,
oh, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because there's also a lot of characters.
Yeah. It's funny because I met the initial cast, right, and like on the Steam art for the game is just like, okay, yeah, I haven't met them yet. Okay, so we're getting more. Got it. Understood.
They also kind of tip that hand early because you see the rooms and there's unassigned rooms and it's like, okay.
Like one of the lines from one of the characters is like, don't know what all these other ones are for, but there they are. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, we're probably getting more. Got it. Understood.
Yeah, man, I gotta say 77 days in and I do not have any fucking clue where this game is going. And I kind of love that.
That's cool. Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, I know that there's 100 endings and I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. And I don't know what's going, I'm getting close to the 100th day.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going to happen when I get to the 100th day? And at this point, I would believe anything up to this one thing that I had an idea for. And I know it's never going to happen because for a couple reasons. I don't know what happened with the core Danganronpa people and I'm blanking on the name of Spike Chunsoft, right?
Yeah.
But obviously they left.
Yeah.
And it was pretty clear with Danganronpa 3 that they were done with that series.
Sure. Yeah.
One of the coolest things that could ever happen for video games, and I would pop the fuck off, is if I was playing a game that was a visual novel with the same art style and the same writing people of Danganronpa.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different game. And then 3/4 of the way through, Monokuma shows up and you hear da 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 da, and it's Danganronpa 4. Is the actual name of the game. Because that's where they're at this point, right? It's they have turned me on my head so many times.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be the craziest thing to do, and I would mark the fuck out. But
I definitely have my early theories as to what maybe I'm working towards, but I'll be interested to see if any of them are even close to right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's neat so far.
I'm really digging it.
Yeah.
If you have concerns about the battle system, I mean, I know you're going to give it more time, but I think it really does build on itself. And then there's certain characters that have really unique mechanics.
Okay.
That really play off of each other pretty well. That was
my concern because that initial battle is all these guys kind of do the same thing, but with different ranges, and they kind of have some of they'd have different mechanics, sure, but it wasn't super it didn't feel like I was playing anything differently, because this guy can do this or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I figured they had more than what I was being shown because it's obviously it's the first little battle that you have, so. But I was just checking. I wanted to make sure because I was this probably goes places, but my initial assessment is this is very simple, overall, which
and you would forgive them for having a super basic bare bones strategy thing,
because
right?
It's their first thing at it. Yeah.
Well, not even that, but it's just this is just the flavor in between the visual novel stuff, right? Like the class trials. But no, it's got some chops to it, and there's actually bosses, and they're pretty hardcore fights, and there's a lot more meat on those bones than I expected when I first started that game. I
Okay.
thought it was going to be a visual novel first, and then we
That's-
also threw in like some
okay.
tile combat.
That's what I was. Okay, that's why I wanted to ask, because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I'm getting that vibe a little bit. So yeah, I wanted to see how that was holding up. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm super stoked that you're playing it because like I've talked about it, but like I
Yeah.
want to be able to like bounce things off of you and see where you're
as
thinking.
soon as I kind of put the how to put it, the cap on Expedition 33 for a little while, I was like, I just don't want to play that. It just stresses me out at the moment.
Mhm.
I'm going to get back to it, and I kind of have a theory on how I'm going to do that. I'll probably start playing it on Saturdays at some point. But like I was like, okay, now that I'm putting the cap on this, it's time to start this. Like I got nothing else going on, and I really do want to try it. So yeah. Seems neat.
Obviously, I've only finished 3 games so far this year, and
Yeah.
Expedition 33 is currently at the top. But like, it could be knocked off of that spot with a feather. And Death Stranding 2 is coming out at the end of next month, so
yeah.
or the end of this
Oh,
month rather.
God.
So like, that's probably like gonna end up being my game of the year. I would be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah.
But, like, unless 100 Line shits the bed like in the final bit,
Sure.
like
Sure.
this man,
You're
this
liking it a
is-
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't put it down.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on my breaks and on my lunch hours just
Right.
to get like extra time into it.
Yeah.
Because it is
Oh,
a nice game to
boy.
just like pick up and play on a Steam
Yeah.
Deck.
For sure. I get you.
Yeah. I'm glad you picked it up.
Yeah. I'm like I said, it's one of their games. I'm definitely gonna fuck with it. Like as soon as I seen it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play that. So yeah. And Danganronpa, even with its concept, was always kind of a slow burn.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of build up for like until that first like actual murder, and then even after the actual murder happens, then it's still like, okay, now you gotta go around, collect all this evidence, and you're like, by the time you get to the trial and things actually start to like do their twisty turny shit, you're kind of like, oh man, and where is this gonna go? Like
Sure.
am I gonna care when I get there? So yeah, like it's kind of just their style, I guess. And then once you
Yeah.
get there, you're like, oh, that super was worth it. That was great. So yeah.
I'm feeling that this cast is not as strong as the Danganronpa games, but
yeah, I
the
could
ones
definitely
that
see
stand
that.
out for me are pretty stellar.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Not like obviously not immediately because I spend that much time with them, but like there's something about Danganronpa, like just like idea wise, where it's like this one, like I said, it's a Danganronpa cast because it's like they have their archetypes, right? Like
Mhm.
this is our this guy, this is this guy, this is this person, this is this girl, so on and so forth. Like like the personality is there, but like Danganronpa would do that, and then it is like, okay, it's this guy's personality, but they're really fucking good at darts or some shit. Like they're the ultimate darts player. Don't
Right,
fucking
yeah.
question it. Like and it made them like this guy over here. He's just this weird caveman dude. But he knows everything there is to know about bugs. And you're just like, when's the bug case gonna show up? I'm all
Yeah.
ears for this shit, right? Like dumb shit like that. So there's something
And-
to that.
And this one is a little weird because even though it's Last Defense Academy, like the school aspect of it is really like way far in the background.
Yeah,
like
I
they
can
tell you straight
believe
up,
that.
it's like, yeah, you don't have to attend classes. Like,
Yeah,
you're just here to protect this school. And it's like, okay, it's a weird. It's almost like they felt like it had to be a school setting because
yeah,
of Danganronpa, but it's like it
because
could have
of
been
Danganronpa.
anything.
Yeah, probably could have been. Yeah,
I do have to ask though, of the twins, when you see the brother, does it raise your hackles simply because he looks like another character from?
he sure looks like a Danganronpa 3 character. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%. I was like, man, come on,
It's
he's
like that
right
feels
there.
intentional.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, even his twin sister like looks like she has the design of like the one from Danganronpa 3, the assassin girl from, or well, I can't remember what her fucking thing. She was the ultimate homemaker or some shit.
Oh,
before
right,
that.
yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. She has like the same colors, like and all that shit, if I remember correctly. But man, they can't help themselves. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one guy's wearing gloves, and I'm like, come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're digging it.
Hmm?
Anything else for you?
Oh boy, I don't think so, Julian. I
Okay.
think that's all I have, unfortunately. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's see. Real quick, I played a demo on Steam called Neon Inferno, which I forget where I had seen this. I think I'd seen just like a trailer on Twitter or something like that. Maybe like one of the, sometimes you have like indie game devs where they just like show off like gameplay of something. I was like, oh, that looks cool. Or it might have been at some presentation. I don't recall how I found out about it.
Yeah.
But I saw that a demo had come out. It is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up in the vein of like Contra and that type of thing.
Yes.
It is a cyberpunk setting, but really gorgeous pixel art. It's the type of thing. This is the type of pixel art that I like, where it's obviously an homage to like Super Nintendo era, but doing stuff far and away beyond what Super Nintendo was capable of.
Right.
A lot more sprites on the screen, very large sprites, very detailed, very well animated. You have an not auto fire, but you have like a rapid fire pistol. You can deflect certain bullets with your sword to send them either immediately back to the way they came, or with a special meter, you can hold down the button after you deflect, and then it goes into bullet time, and you can actually like change the trajectory of where those bullets go.
Right.
So, if you're fighting like a boss and there's like grunts around, you can deflect those grunt bullets up to the boss, and then also follow up with your own gun. And that stuff is all well and cool. Like, I really like that stuff. It loses me a little bit because they introduce enemies in the background where you fire on them, like the game on Super Nintendo called Wild Guns, which is like a Western game.
Yeah.
If you know that one. And there it's like you're stationary when you're doing that, because you have to like hold down like the R1 button, and then it puts you into an aiming mode, and then you move a reticle. Which again, that's fine, except when they start to introduce enemies in the foreground that you have to be able to dodge and move around while enemies are in the background as well.
Right.
And that's where it gets a little overly chaotic for my liking.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a really good run and gun shooter and it's been a bit, it might be worth checking out. And I don't know if the demo is a timed thing. I think right now there's a bunch of Steam demos coming out to coincide with Summer Games Fest, so they might be temporary.
What was it called
demos.
again? I'm sorry.
Neon Inferno.
Neon Inferno. Okay.
Let me this might be an edit point. Let me double check that that's actually the name.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, got it. There is definitely a game, and there is definitely a demo for it. I was just making sure, because I knew it was neon something. I couldn't remember the second word. This looks cool. Like just looks wise. Yeah,
it's got a really nice look to it. It's got great art.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice soundtrack too.
Oh, I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice and synthy. Nice synth wave.
Yeah. Yeah. This is neat. This is very neat looking.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking out. It's probably not something that I'm ultimately going to pick up, but I was glad to get my hands on it and give it a go. For sure. Yeah.
I don't have much else. Trying to think here. The Final Fantasy Magic Gathering set's coming out, Julian. It's still happening.
Is it, Justin?
Yeah, it is.
Like, it feels like it's been coming out for like 3 years.
I know. Well, welcome to how this whole thing works, Julian. You make them wait. You gotta fucking ice them out, man. You gotta ice them out. But no, it's actually like a lot of like the reveals are starting to happen now. Like where like the first ones were actually, and I'm really unfamiliar with like how this shit works sometimes, because like the first ones that when I was like asking you like what you thought of the cards or whatever, those were like the commander cards. Apparently, there's different decks and shit, and those are not like the actual set. The actual set now is starting to come out, and it's a whole thing. But the one there's some that I'm like, I read, I'm like, that's actually pretty fucking good what you did there.
Nice.
There's like my favorite thing so far that I feel like you'll appreciate is they put Sid in it, obviously, right?
Mhm.
But Sid is like and they put all 15 Sids, or well, 15 different Sids. I think they're missing probably, one, but I can't pinpoint which one it is exactly. As many Sids as they have, they're all different artworks, so collect them all.
Nice.
They're gonna get their money. But the fun thing about it is it's called it's one card with a bunch of different artwork, and it's called Sid Timeless Artificer, and you can have as many as you want in your deck. So you can basically, put all you're only supposed to have 4 of every card, but unless it says otherwise on the card that you can have, so you can fill the whole thing up, because like, the concept of Sid is always in a Final Fantasy game, so you can have as many. And I was like, that's pretty good idea, actually. I
Now,
like that.
Do they all have different abilities? Because they should.
No, they don't. Because it's
Okay,
one card. Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's a little weird.
Yeah,
because they are very different people.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they the other one that has stood out to me, and it's a dumb one, but it really, there's a lot of good ones, and I was trying to get a spoiler for it to work earlier, the one that I usually like to work, so we'll do this another time, but the one that I'm remembering off the top of my head was, so they made a Zack card from Final Fantasy VII, right?
Mm-hmm.
His ability is he comes with a +1/+1 counter. That's fine. He's 1 white mana. That's fine. But for one thing, you can sacrifice him, and he will make another creature indestructible, and also any equipment that he has on him goes to that person. So it's like, oh yeah, he saves Cloud and then gives him the Buster Sword.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, actually, that's pretty fucking good. I was like, that's actually really good what you did there. There's a lot of stuff like that in there. They made you'll get a kick out of this. They made a card for the fucking orphanage plot twist in Final Fantasy VIII. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the worst plot twist in Final Fantasy history.
Yes. I was like, I can't believe they did this, but I am here for it. God bless you guys. That's great. So yeah, I'll get more into it some other time, but yeah, I've pre-ordered some boxes of that.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have a lot of room anymore, because like the temptation was pretty strong.
Don't get into collecting Magic the Gathering, Julian. The stuff that you would like really dig is a lot of money. Like you would want, like,
I was more interested in because there's like decks for specific games.
Yes, there's like, I could see you being like, I want to get like the collector's boosters or whatever, because that has like the full artwork and all this stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also like $800 fucking for like a box of them or whatever.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember exactly how much per pack it is, but it's a lot. So yeah, I was like, oh no, that's insane. I'm good. I can tell you this much. I can tell that it's selling well because pre-ordering it was actually pretty difficult. Like I had to like look around at least a little bit. Normally you can go fucking anywhere and pre-order that shit and it's fine. Maybe
I wonder if tariff shit is also a factor.
I don't,
because John was telling me about like he was doing like a he was collecting these like Marvel like little figures for like a board game thing.
Yeah.
And like he was going to cancel this like Kickstarter that he had done for some of those because like they got hit with the tariffs big time.
Oh, I believe it.
And
Yeah.
it was going to be like, you know, an extra like couple $100 on top of the, you know, what he'd already paid.
I'm not sure at all where they print that stuff at, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it was like impossible to find. I could find all the things that I wanted to find, but I was having to shop around a little bit, and certain places had higher prices than other places. It was a whole thing. And it's probably like that all the time. I'm sure somebody's like, yeah, that's always like that. And I'm like, it's been a while since I bought physical Magic the Gathering cards. So
I was going to say, yeah.
It's been quite some time. This is like one where I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy these. I can't help myself. It's a couple of my favorite things coming together. They got me. They fucking got me. What do you want from me? They got me.
Yeah.
And also probably going to play a bunch of Arena too. Damn it, they really got my ass too. God damn it. Pisses me off.
Well, I was going to tell a story about because I bought a car yesterday, actually, as we're recording this.
Nice.
But I'm a little tired. So maybe I will put a pin in that. Not for next episode, because next episode is it snuck up on us. But it's not E3 time, so
Julian all of a sudden texted me over the course of the past week and was like, hey, I don't know if you realize this, but this is this state. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck
yeah,
did not realize it.
Apparently Keith Jeffley had been calling me, and I just kept missing the calls because he was like, hey, I need to book your venue again. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that's fine. Don't know how that one slipped by me.
He can't use the codec. So, you know, at least there's
that's true.
That. Yeah. At least there's that, you know.
I totally forgot we have that.
Oh yeah, we have it still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I haven't forgotten.
We got a lot of irons in the fire. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Before we get out of here, I thought we could go ahead and do some comments, questions, and concerns, or CQC.
Sure.
There's lots of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the show posts on Patreon or YouTube. Just, go there if you have an account. Or you can hit us up on our Discord. There is a channel in there for comments, questions, concerns. Also, I didn't realize this, but I think I knew about this, but I don't check it very often. There's also comments on Spotify.
Oh.
And so that's where these first two come from. This is very funny because these are actual comments.
Oh, God. Oh, do I want to hear these?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
This one comes from all the way back in episode 39.
All right.
All the way there for the most part. And this comment comes from Addie, which says, this is a Spotify comment.
Oh, great. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did want to hear that. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yes. And then on episode 40, the year in review 2024, which is interesting.
Great.
And this one actually just came in like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, excellent.
From Orange Cloud 619.
Okay.
Haha. I just listened to this episode and heard my shout out. Mwahaha. That was like 6 months ago now. I'll join the Discord now.
Okay.
And I know that they did because they did join the Discord.
Yes. Excellent. Perfect. Well done.
And it is funny because I remember calling them out and then there was no response and I was like, oh, they stopped listening to the show. That makes me
gets
sad.
Depressed. Funny.
I do get depressed.
Well, it shouldn't be funny, but sometimes it is.
It's kind of funny.
It depends. It depends on the context, right? like it depends on the context.
Oh, I mean about like
yes,
like
about
show stuff.
Yes. That's what I. That's what I mean.
Kind of funny. Yeah.
Yes, that stuff is kind of funny.
Yeah, my regular depression not so much.
No, that stuff not funny. No.
And now we'll head over onto the Discord. I'm not going to grab all of these because we've gotten a pretty good bit, but this first one comes from Xavier, who says, if you're at a grill out, what's your favorite meat? Hot dogs, burgers, steaks, or any other option you can think of? I'm not going to lie. I've never been to a cookout.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like ever.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
I think I would gravitate towards hot dogs, though.
Yeah.
I like a hot dog, and I feel that I don't trust like just a random dude to not fuck up my burger if it's not a thing that they do as a job.
It depends, right? It depends.
I like a medium rare burger.
Sure. Yeah. It depends, right? Like some people are better than cooking it at others. It's a whole thing. Yeah, man. Almost every fucking cookout you go to, they're just like, just well done. It's fine. That's what we do here. Just well done.
No,
burgers.
I know. Yeah, and that
I know. I'm 100% with you. Yeah. No, I'm not the guy. I like a little bit of I like a medium rare burger. You actually like yours the same exact way as I do. I'm 100% there with you. So yeah, that stuff is dicey, and I'm also that way about steak. Like people fuck that shit up real easily. I'm really picky about it. Sometimes you get like, depending on the steak, sometimes like it's just a bad cut of meat or whatever. Plus, I everybody loves steak. I think it's too much fucking work because I don't like the fat. I'm not fucking eating that. That's gross. It's weird. It's all chewy.
So no, don't. You know, you want the fat.
No, I don't, Julian. I actually don't. I really don't, actually. I feel it's disgusting and gross. It's a texture thing for me. I just can't do it.
That's fair. I actually don't think you're supposed to eat the fat, but I fucking love the fat. I don't know.
No, you're not alone. People do like it. And every time I gets to me, I'm just like, no, I cannot do that. I
like my brisket nice and marbled.
Sure. I remember my grandmother making fun of me about that. She was like, because I will like cut pieces of fat off of steak like with laser like precision. Like I'm just like and she's like, boy, you really know what parts of the steak you're going to eat. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not eating these. That's for sure. We're damn sure. So I'm picky about that. Hot dogs are always a safe bet. They really are. And grilled, they're pretty good. You can burn them, sure. But at the same time, you can tell when they've been burned, if that makes sense. You're like, oh, that looks terrible. Like, we're not going to eat that one. We'll just go to this other one that's slightly less done. Yeah, so I think I might side with hot dogs if I'm not cooking them myself or something like that, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, I think I might go with hot dogs if we're at a random cookout. By the way, you're not really missing much at cookouts. I think they're a little overhyped, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like being outdoors for one.
Terrible. There's fucking okay. God damn.
There's flies everywhere, man.
Yeah, there's bugs. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Why are we eating outside? I never understood it.
And I live in Texas too, so like,
yeah.
You know, add 20 degrees on top of whatever you're thinking.
I guess I can get the cooking outside, right, because of all the smoke and whatnot. I can get behind that to some degree. Yeah. Okay, I can get behind that. Yes, we make exhaust fans, I know, and we should utilize them more often. But at the same time, like not everybody has like a good enough exhaust fan for that much smoke, so it's a thing. But why would we stay outside to eat it? It just seems bad. There's bugs. It's an uncomfortable temperature. You know, what are you gonna do?
The sun can hurt you.
The sun's it's terrible, Julian. I hate it.
Yeah,
I really do. Oh, it's bad.
I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
There's this Aldi commercial that I keep seeing on YouTube lately, and it pisses me the fuck off. It's like the two guys at a cookout, like, you know, their families are there. Yeah. And the guy's grilling steaks or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And mind you that this is taking place by a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And this is like at a cabana at this guy's house.
Yeah.
And so the other guy who comes up to the guy that's grilling is like, oh, steak, huh? That must have cost a fortune. And I'm like, look at where you live. Like, I don't understand who this is for.
It's for people that have, poolside cabanas and but are also, aware.
Also price conscious.
That steak costs a lot of money, Julian. Yeah, absolutely.
And the whole thing is that, oh no, I bought it at Aldi, so it didn't cost a lot of money. But it's like, well, I don't know. I'll see commercials like that sometimes. And I'm like, I don't understand who this is marketed towards.
Listen, Julian, if you shopped at Aldi and you saved that much money, you could also afford a poolside cabana.
Yeah, okay? I mean, the reason that I'm in the position that I'm at is because I eat too much avocado toast.
Yeah,
we all
not
know this.
Eating enough Aldi food. That's it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
My friend Blissy is listening to this. She's like, I keep telling you to go to Aldi.
Yeah.
Because she does keep telling me to go to Aldi.
I always found Aldi food gross. Sorry, Aldi fans. It's fucking off-putting and weird to me. I know there's some stuff that is just perfectly fine and is, the regular shit, but like there is like Aldi brand shit that I'm just like, no, absolutely not. This is disgusting and you should be ashamed of eating it. Yeah. I can't think of a specific example because it's been too long because I'm too classy to go to Aldi. Sorry. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one comes to us from Casey. Do you prefer the left analog stick to be above or below the D-pad?
So he's asking like PlayStation or Xbox, is that kind of the thing?
Yeah, and I mean, there's certain third-party controllers that play around with that format too.
Yeah, depending. Sure. Nowadays, I like the off sticks personally. I'm an off stick fan, so I like the stick to be above the D-pad personally. Nowadays, we just treat the D-pad as like, oh yeah, this is here and it's more buttons.
Right.
So,
yeah. It is kind of the vestigial tale of controllers.
Yeah.
Well, but it is important for menus and stuff like that because we need more buttons.
And when you have a game that's more focused around, like this is a kind of a retro type of thing, like it works there too. It's not bad, but yeah, I personally like the stick above it. That's me.
I think I alternate between the two so often that I'm completely like agnostic. Like I can go either way, totally fine.
Yeah, my brain. It's a small preference for me. Like it's very small.
I like the aesthetic of the sticks next to each other more.
Yeah, I can get that. 100%.
But as far as like comfort or preference, as far as like I don't. It's no different to me.
It really doesn't bother me that much either. I'm right there with you.
Let's see. Extrian. Well, I think we'll close on this one because I'm tired and I need food. That's always like the worst spot to be in. Mm-hmm. Is like sleepy and hungry.
It's not great.
Yeah. He says, all right, be honest. Have you ever went to grab a pair of socks or shirt, but skipped past multiple options because they were turned inside out and you'd rather just keep searching for a pair, but you don't have to revert to normal?
Are we talking about socks and
or shirt? Yeah,
shirt.
Just like
no. Here's the secret. Here's the secret for me. When you fold your fucking laundry, just turn the shirts right side. You just make them right.
Yeah.
Just do that.
So I don't fold my laundry. Well, actually, hold on. Because sorry. He says, on a related note, what's your laundry routine? Wash daily, once a week, or till you run out of clothes and need to do 5 loads? Fold everything immediately or leave a pile till the pile is depleted?
Yeah.
So to answer his first question, I have not done that because when I do my laundry, I just go ahead and put everything right side out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to be like a fold person,
okay.
But then the pandemic hit, and I got the pandemic hit, and then, never mind. I was single before the pandemic hit.
Sure.
So the pandemic hit, and I got very into the whole, let's just put everything in a pile. So I lay my t-shirts out, and I just stack them on top of each other, and then I just go through those.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's not crazy. That's fine. I think that's fine.
It's not that I just dump the bin on top of my bed.
I know somebody Yeah, I not related to them, but like they'll get their laundry out and they'll just put it back in the thing, but there's no folding or anything.
Mhm.
It's just the pile of chaos that is now dry right into the hamper. Do we sort that later? I don't know, but it bothers me.
Yeah.
like you're describing like no, we separate these things and we put them in the pile. I do like, I'm not a good folder by any stretch, but
Me either, and that's one of the reasons that I kind of got away from it.
yeah, it's for me it's like a quick fold, and then make sure everything's right side up at that point, and then put it all in there. I don't like dressers. I don't know why anybody wants a dresser. It doesn't vibe with me. Like, why? It's just an extra step. Just leave everything in the clothing hamper, but just folded, and you're good. I've always done that.
Well, see, my thing is that I will then return dirty clothes to the hamper. So
No. Get a second one and then alternate.
Well, I've already got two because I separate.
Get a third. Just keep going, and
it's like litter boxes for cats. You want one more than how many cats?
Yeah. Just like and then whatever one is the dirty one, that's the one you take. Also, I do laundry weekly. I have a laundry day that I'm just like, every Sunday. Sunday is laundry day. That's when I do my fucking laundry.
Interesting.
Our dryer sucks. It's fucking terrible. It takes like 3 fucking times for it to dry a fucking load. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's bad. Really bad. So I don't even have that much. Like after a week, I'm like, I don't even have that much. It's like, what, a load maybe? But still takes me almost all day. That's good. That's real good. That's what I want. What was the other question?
I mean, that was it.
Okay, that was it. All right. I wasn't sure if there was more to this question. Yeah,
no. So for me, I've got a lot of clothes, and I really need to start paring down. It's like I do this routinely, but I've gotten to the point where I probably need to pare down again. But what I'll do is I wait until the hamper is full, and then I do a load. And so I haven't run out of clothes at that point. But
sure.
But it is time now. But I do separate like what I call like my outside clothes, like my outer clothes from my underwear, towels, and socks.
Sure.
They're in separate hampers.
Okay.
So for the underwear, towels, and socks hamper, because it's a really big bin.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Basically, when I start to run low on underwear is when I do that load, and I do all the towels as well.
That's not a bad strat. I don't hate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I missed Caprica because she loved the fresh towels.
Yes, I remember yeah.
Yeah, and so I always put out like the sacrificial towels for her to lay on.
Yeah.
But Baltar doesn't care about that, so it's not a thing. I still have a towel out for Caprica, but
yeah.
But these days it's really just when underwear starts to get low, then I do those.
Sure.
And then as far as outer clothes, it's when, because so the underwear in just like a plastic tub,
right.
But then I've got a little like fabric style hamper from IKEA for my outer clothes, and so when that starts to get full, because that's about like a full load of laundry. But see my secret cap is that I rewear stuff for like days. So I'll I'm like Peter Griffin up in this bitch where I'm just wearing like the same outfit for like 4 or 5 days.
I
can make it stretch.
Yeah, I can't do it. I gotta switch daily. I think a lot of people
I switch underwear. But
yeah. Oh sure. Yeah, no, I get it. I think a lot of people will wear like the same jeans like more, a couple days or whatever, or however that works. But I can't.
I change shirts more often, but pants I will usually go 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Socks I tend to go about 3 days.
Right.
Underwear is daily or every other day, depending on how lazy I am.
Yeah. Then I'm like, socks. That seems insane to me, but like, as long as it's working for you, that's fine.
Oh, and do you change your socks every day?
Oh yeah. I'm on my feet a lot too.
Okay, yeah. See, that's the big difference.
I get home and I'm like, oh god,
no, those socks are soaked. No,
yeah,
that's a different
gross.
thing.
Yeah, it's a whole. Yeah, that's why I recoiled at that. I'm like, oh no, there's no way.
No, so days that I work in the office, like that outfit is completely going in the laundry at the end of the day because
that makes sense.
I'm more frazzled when I'm working in the office, so I'm sweating more, and just dealing with like even being out in the heat, just in the car, like that's gonna make me like sweat more, and like I'm ready to peel all that stuff off when I get home.
Hell yeah.
Think about that, ladies. No, I don't know.
They'll think about it. I don't know.
They are now.
I don't know what they'll think. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I think that's a show, Justin.
I think that's a show, Julian.
Yeah.
We navigated the all Scouts Today edition.
Yes, that's true.
Pretty much. I mean, well, besides a half an hour, but you know who's counting?
Yeah. Not me, for sure.
Not me. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin, where can people find you?
Yeah, twitch.tv/TyrantSwift is I'm gonna stream again. I just gotta carve a day out for it. Life has been really weird for me recently, so I'm just trying to figure it all out at this point. Like I went to stream, what was it, last Sunday, because I was like, oh, I got Monday off, let me stream Sunday, that'll work out perfectly. Fell asleep. And it was just like, well, never mind, I'm not doing that. And then I was like, well, I gotta figure something out. I will. Also, YouTube Tyrone Swift TV on there to watch older stuff that I did if you want to. Enjoy.
I love it when Xrian will ask a question in the Discord and it's like, do you listen to the show? Because he was like, hey, does Justin keep an archive of his Twitch streams because they're not on Twitch? And I was like, and I sent him the link to the YouTube, and it's like, you only say it every episode.
I archive it there because Twitch does not archive it unless you're like, I think, a bigger streamer, and then they'll start to do it. Unless there's some weird way that I don't know how to do because I'm a fucking idiot. And if somebody knows how, then let me know.
Well, I think they also just changed a thing where like it's not even archiving for like the bigger stuff.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Like I think it's like a certain number of things or whatever. Like I think yours, at least before it would keep them for like a couple weeks.
It's 1 week. It'll archive for 1 week exactly to like the hour that you stream it, and then it's gone. So yeah, like if I did a stream, you had exactly a week to watch it on Twitch. But usually I'd put up like the next day on YouTube most of the time, unless I forgot, and then it would be like a couple days later. But
getting in tune with Sailor Moon, because that cartoon has got the boom anime babes that made me think the wrong thing. It comes full circle.
Yeah,
because you have 1 week to keep your.
It's been 1 week. Yeah. I knew that line. Unfortunately, I feel bad about it. I'm on guard for Barenaked ladies. Next thing you're gonna be like, if I had $1 million, I'd whatever.
We would eat more Kraft dinner with fancy ketchups on them.
I don't think that's a line in the song, Julian.
It is actually.
Is it actually?
It's not a line. It's an ad lib. You know. It's like a voiced ad lib.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of that in that one. Yeah. Yeah.
I might like some Barenaked ladies, Justin. I don't know what to tell you.
I like the one song I always remember from them that I actually do like was like before they kind of did the 1 week thing and all that stuff. I liked I think it's just called Brian Wilson. That song was pretty good. If you never heard it, it's pretty good. Try it out.
I think I checked it out when you brought that up randomly on an episode.
Yeah, I think I did bring it up randomly on an episode. It's actually not a bad song.
Yeah. You can find me on Blue Sky. Just search Julian Titus. You can find the show on Twitter at StageSelectPod. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for our theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show John Gholson for being our announcer and providing us with our artwork. I think by the time this episode comes out, he is on his way to the Tribeca Film Festival for the premiere of his movie Man Finds Tape.
Very cool.
Very excited. Very, very proud. That's another thing that I forgot to talk about. Yeah, so I will say this because I'll forget if
Sure.
we don't do it.
Go for it.
Because John, for years, like he had been doing sketch comedy, and he had been like starring and like writing and directing like sketches.
Sure.
And
yeah.
like I went to his first sketch show, which apparently was pre-pandemic. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah.
And then obviously once the pandemic hit, I didn't go to any of them. But he did a final show, and then I ended up going to the final show of that final show.
Okay.
He gave me a ride because I really don't like navigating downtown.
I get it.
And then afterwards, we hung out with the cast because they all wanted to like celebrate that it was end of their last thing.
Yeah.
And man, so this one, John wasn't in any of the sketches. He just wrote them.
Okay.
But they were fucking phenomenal.
That's good.
A lot of them were just like, yeah, this is better than stuff that I'm watching on SNL. Like, this is like some really fantastic stuff. Some was very personal in some very fun ways. Like, there was one sketch where I was like, this is totally what happens in John's head when he masturbates.
Sure.
Because it was like a guy like about to get ready to masturbate, and then God shows up, and it's like, let's get it going. I can't wait to watch this. And he's just like, and then like more people show up. Like Uncle Sam shows up. Richard Marley from A Christmas Carol.
Jacob Marley?
Sorry,
yes.
yeah.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, he shows up, and they're all like anticipating this guy jacking off. It was a really good bit.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well done. And then the final sketch was just about this girl trying to like get a hold of somebody with customer service, and she fucking nailed it. She was so good because it was just like constantly like them putting her on hold and the same like song playing from the start, and just like breaking her down over the course of like 5 or 6 minutes. It was phenomenal.
Right.
And so cool to see friend of the show John Gholson like in his element with his people.
Yeah.
And I could really tell that like they were all like very enamored with him and very happy that they got to work with him. And
that's cool.
Yeah, just proud of my buddy.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Had to throw that in there.
No problem.
But that is going to do it for this episode of the Stage Select.
All right.
I've been Julian Titus. He's been an exhausted Justin Hamm.
I am.
We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
Uh-huh.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.